Hey everybody, Rockin Robbie Billups here for Pop Culture Philosophers, and it's time for the weekly comic book review. Alright gang, the weekly comic book review, that's right, it's the show where I go through some of the comic books I read this week and give you my opinions on them, and we start off with the pick of the week. Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye, number 2, and I promise you guys, Gerard Way and DC Comics, they are not like paying me for this or anything, but I am just gaga, head over heels for DC Young Animal. I think it's refreshing. I think it is the best thing to happen in the industry in a very, very, very long time. I love these books. Cave Carson, number 1, I thought it was pretty solid, but number 2 blows number 1 out of the park. Love number 2. It's zany, it's fun, high adventure, crazy stuff, but it's got these emotional beats that it hits just perfectly. It's absolutely fantastic. The artwork by Michael Avon Oeming is superb. The coloring is amazing. And John Rivera and Gerard Way are knocking this book out of the park. Check out Cave Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye. This is absolutely a fantastic book. And the song that goes along with it, if you haven't heard it, there's a link down below. Check it out. Read the book. This stuff is really, really good. Also, we got Marvel releasing Thanos number 1. Thanos, a lot of people like Thanos. He's huge. All of a sudden he's just like one of the most popular villains in all of comics. I like Thanos all right, but this book it's okay. It's written by Jeff Lemire with art by Mike Deodato. This book is okay. I don't know, it didn't really impress me because anybody could have written this book. Like, I'm expecting more from a Jeff Lemire comic book, and this is just kind of a run-of-the-mills Thanos is a badass story. It's alright. If you're a huge Thanos fan, you're gonna like it, but if you're wanting something a little bit more, I don't know. Maybe this isn't for you. Didn't really quite work for me, but that's just me. Infamous Iron Man number 2. If you remember, number 1, wasn't quite sold on it. I'm a huge Doctor Doom fan. Huge Doctor Doom fan. I just felt like something wasn't there in issue 1. Well, whatever was missing was added in to issue number 2. I love issue number 2. It's way more Victor, way more Doom. You got the Thing in it as well. I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. My favorite comic book of all time. This is the closest we got right now to a Fantastic Four book. But Infamous Iron Man number 2 so improves over issue 1. I highly recommend it. Some new ones here. We got a new one from Boombox named Slam. Slam was a really cool book. I actually liked it. It is written by Pamela Ribon and illustrated by Veronica Fish. Veronica Fish did some Archie work, if you know. Anyway, Slam is really cool. It's a comic book about roller derby. I'm not a huge roller derby fan at all. This book was amazing. Anybody who's a fan of roller derby, or anybody who's a fan of independent comics, anybody who likes cool, new, fresh, hip takes that are slightly progressive, check out Slam. Slam was actually a refreshing book that I really like. Boombox does some really, really good stuff. A new one from Dark Horse and Matt Kent, Ether. Ether is crazy. It's got art by David Rubin. The artwork is fantastic. This guy belongs, like seriously, this felt like a DC Young Animal book. I like a lot of Matt Kent stuff, Mind Management, for instance, even though I've never finished it, Brian. This book is crazy, it's weird, it's in a world where everybody believes in magic, and this guy is trying to prove that there is no such thing as magic, it is all scientifically explainable. This book is weird. The key part of this is the artwork. The artwork is fantastic. The coloring is cool. It is just weird, wild, cool stuff. Check out Ether if you're wanting something different. A new one from IDW, Yakuza Demon Killers. This one right here. So it's a horror comic, right? And it's got the Yakuza and it's got demons and all that stuff. I wasn't even going to pick this book up, but I flipped through and the artwork looks pretty cool. It's rough, it's edgy. The artwork is pretty cool, so it appealed to me. I read it. This book's stupid. This book is so stupid. It's juvenile. It doesn't really click with me. It's not horrific. It's just silly. It's dumb. It's stupid. If you're a huge fan of horror comics and you will like eat up and love anything that is horror related, check it out. Otherwise, pass on this book. A book that I think no comic book fan should pass up on is the 4-color comic book history of comics. This book was really, really cool and very, very neat. So it's like these little comic strips, little cartoon strips that tell you the history of the comic book industry. This one takes you from the very beginning up until 1938, and if you know anything about comic books, you know 1938 was a big deal. So this is the precursor to superheroes. This is everything that happened before Superman and Batman and all that stuff. But it's really cool. There's a lot of stuff in here that a lot of people are not going to know at all. And so this is your history lesson, guys. You want to know comic book history? Read this book. Absolutely. Okay, Image released Reborn #2. #1, not quite sold on. #2, pretty decent. Not quite sold on it still. Greg Capullo was doing the best artwork of his career, in my opinion, on his Batman run. This goes back to just typical Greg Capullo stuff. I don't know. I'm not the hugest fan of his artwork overall, but the story is okay. It's pretty interesting. Issue 2 was intriguing, and there's lots of cool little stuff. There's some emotional bits in it too that could set up for something in the future. But Reborn is a solid comic book. A lot of you guys are going to like it, so I recommend picking up #2 if you like #1 at all. Some DC books, because you know we love DC. Superman #11. This is the second part of that story about Damian meeting Jonathan Kent. Superboy meets Robin, right? Issue 1 was fantastic of it. The second part of the story is great as well. If you like the characters of Damian, if you like Jonathan Kent, and I love both of these characters, they're right there. They're such a reflection of Bruce and Clark's dynamic, and I think they handled it really, really well. Superman has been a really good book. The artwork by Patrick Gleason is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. His stuff on Batman and Robin, his stuff on the Robin series, Patrick Gleason's artwork has gotten better and better as the years have gone by. Superman is a fantastic book. Check it out. Batman #11. Guys, we've made 11 issues into Tom King's Batman run, and I gotta say this, I don't like it. I don't like Tom King's Batman run, and I'm so just flabbergasted about this. In this issue, you know, they're still going after Bane. They're trying to find the Psycho Pirate, all that stuff. So I'm intrigued about the Psycho Pirate thing because I think that's going to lead into some Watchmen things and maybe a new crisis on the horizon. The Forever Crisis is what I believe is going to be coming. Michael Jannon's artwork is good, and the Bane stuff is pretty cool. There's some Catwoman. There's a lot of Catwoman stuff in here. I really don't understand what's going on with Catwoman right now. I feel like I missed something. If any of you guys know what they're talking about with Catwoman, how she supposedly killed like 200 something people at one point, if you know where that happened, please let me know because I don't know and I want to check that out. I want to know what's going on. But otherwise, this book is okay. Like, seriously, I'm expecting so much more. Maybe it's just a case of my expectations being so high for Tom King's Batman, but it's just not doing it for me, guys. I want to keep reading it, obviously, because I think it's going to be one of the key books in the Watchmen crisis thing happening. And finally, let's talk about Green Lanterns, okay? Green Lanterns #11. I hated this book when it first came out. You can go check out some of my reviews for the Rebirth one-shot and the issue #1. But I didn't really like it, but this book has grown on me, man. Absolutely. Sam Humphries, right? Yeah, Sam Humphries is doing it. The artwork has gotten so much better. Seriously, the artwork has gotten so much better in this Phantom Lantern story. And seriously, Phantom Lantern is the coolest thing to say. But I am highly intrigued by this book. I've been liking it. I've been digging it a lot. If you didn't like Green Lanterns in the beginning, I recommend that you come back and check out this Phantom Lantern story because it's just supremely enjoyable. So give Green Lantern a chance. Definitely read the Superman books. Reborn is pretty solid, but the comic book history of comics is essential, right? That's your homework, guys. Skip Yakuza Demon Hunters. Ether and Slam are really good. Thanos, take it or leave it. And Infamous Iron Man, #2, pretty solid. But Cave Carson, guys, I promise you, I'll get off the Young Animal thing pretty soon, maybe. But, dudes, they keep hitting my picks of the week for a reason. These books are refreshing, they're different, they're unpredictable, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, 2 pages into most comics, we already know what's going to happen. It's just how it is. The stories get recycled over and over and over. This is some new twists, some new spins on the medium. Really cool, zany stuff. Let me know down below what were your favorite comic books of this week. And if you know anything about that Catwoman stuff, please let me know because I'm so confused by that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please do like and share this video. Be sure to subscribe. Check out all these all these comic book reviews we do every week. We also do movie reviews and a bunch of other stuff, commentary on pop culture, and how to better our lives through it. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Catch you next time.